Elon, you tweeted this thing about George Soros. You also you said he wants to erode the very fabric of civilization, and Soros hates humanity. Like, when you do something like that, do you
I think that's true. That's my opinion.
Okay, but why share it? Why share it? Especially because, why share it when people who buy Teslas may not agree with you, advertisers on Twitter may not agree with you?
This is freedom of speech. I'm allowed to say what I want.
You absolutely are, but I'm trying to understand why you do, because you have to know it's got to hurt the company. Are there Tesla owners who say, I don't agree with his political position, and I know it because he shares so much of it? Or are there advertisers on Twitter that Linda Yaccarino will come and say, you got to stop, man?
I don't care. I'll say what I want to say, and if
Elon Musk is sharp and quick with his comebacks, and that's what makes them so effective. Now, let's dive into some moments where Elon put woke nonsense in its place. Sit back, grab some snacks, and enjoy the ride.
The criticism, there was advertisers leaving. We talked to Bob Iger today.
I hope they stop.
You hope?
Don't advertise.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f yourself. But go yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is.
How do you think then about the economics of X? Part of the underlying model, at least today, and maybe it needs to shift. Maybe the answer is it needs to shift away from advertising. What do you do?
F-Y.
I understand that, but there's a reality too.
Love it. Nothing can stop this guy. He's all about making a real impact and won't let anything stand in his way. In this clip, Elon delivers a bold response to woke companies refusing to advertise on his platform.
He gets interrupted by some DEI woke bullshit, and I'm like, Jesus, I was playing a video game here. Can you just leave the video games alone? You don't want to do things that damage art. So it breaks you out of the story.
The fact that some people hate this guy is just crazy. I mean, he speaks nothing but facts. Woke culture is starting to infiltrate video games, movies, and other things that shouldn't be changed. It's insane.
So do we want a humorless society that is simply rife with condemnation and hate, basically? At its heart, wokeness is divisive, exclusionary, and hateful. It basically gives mean people a reason. It gives them a shield to be mean and cruel, armored in false virtue.
We don't agree on this.
Yes, you want censorship and I don't.
No, I don't want censorship at all.
Yes, you do.
No, I want responsibility.
You want censorship so bad you can taste it.
No, that's not true. I think that there's right and wrong.
That's typically how the bullshit goes. You feel me?
When you have a platform that's as big as yours and as powerful as yours and as influential as yours, that there is a certain responsibility that goes along with what you have on your platform and what you put out to the world. I think that's important.
I think we have a responsibility to adhere to the law, and if people want the law changed, they should book their elected representative and get the law changed, and then we will adhere to the law. But if you want us to go beyond the law, that is us deciding to be censors. And I'm against censorship. I'm in favor of freedom of speech. And freedom of speech only is relevant when people use...
The truth is, Elon has so much money that boycotts or woke backlash don't faze him. He can do whatever he wants without worrying about it.
We believe that women and minority pilots are inherently less intelligent and less skilled than white male pilots.
No, I'm just saying that we should not lower the standards for them.
Okay, but there's no evidence that standards are being lowered when it comes to the airline industry.
You've repeatedly said that there's no evidence that standards are being lowered, and watch the replies showing all the evidence that it is.
Replies, though, on social media or on Twitter are not necessarily fact and evidence.
No,
that's people's
They will
opinion.
cite
Okay.
all the replies. In the replies to this, you will see how often the information is cited, showing that indeed there are significant cases where standards are lowered. I believe that Boeing changed to include DEI as a fundamental executive incentive. In my view, it should be purely about passenger safety.
Okay, but do you understand how by saying just that standards are being lowered, that you're implying that they're being lowered because people are less skilled and less intelligent, and you're talking about people of color and or women?
Look, I'm saying we should...
It's honestly wild that some people dislike this guy. He's just speaking the truth. Woke culture is creeping into video games, movies, and other things that don't need to be changed, and it's getting out of hand.
What is the woke mind virus? And if we don't deal with this, nothing else can get done. Tell me why you think that.
Yeah, so I think we need to be very cautious about anything that is anti-meritocratic and anything that is that results in the suppression of free speech. So, those are two of the aspects of the woke mind virus that I think are very dangerous. You can't question things. Even the questioning is bad. So, another way to almost synonymous would be cancel culture. And obviously, people have tried to cancel you many times.
Many times.
Yeah, I mean,
every week.
Yeah.
From left and right. I've had it from both sides.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. People, you and I are both like in that little group of people. Maybe it's a bigger group now.
Yeah.
Who are called conservative, who haven't really changed. I don't think of you as a conservative.
I'm definitely, I at least think of myself as a moderate. So I mean, at least I've spent a massive amount of my life energy building sustainable energy. Electric vehicles and batteries and solar and stuff to help save the environment. That's not.
Absolutely. Social media platforms shouldn't censor content. That's within the law. If it's legal, people should have the freedom to share their opinions with the world.
The labels, the COVID misinformation labels, there used to be a policy, and then it disappeared. Why do that?
Well, COVID is no longer an issue. Does the BBC hold itself at all responsible for misinformation regarding masking and side effects of vaccines, and not reporting on that at all? And what about the fact that the BBC was put under pressure by the British government to change its editorial policy? Are you aware of that?
This is not an interview about the BBC.
Oh, you thought it wasn't?
I see now why you've done Twitter Spaces. I am not a representative of the BBC's editorial policy. I want to make that clear.
Get out of here, man. I'm saying.
If you genuinely believe pilots should be hired based on their skin color or gender rather than their skills and qualifications, that's pretty concerning. No one wants to be on a plane where the pilot was chosen because of woke hiring rules instead of their ability to fly safely.
All this controversy, I believe, as you know, has made X less appealing to advertisers. About half of them have left the platform. You call advertisers that left X.com. You said they were oppressors. You've even gone as far as saying it publicly that they can go F themselves or go F themselves.
If they're going to force censorship on the company before advertising, then obviously I find that unacceptable.
You find it unacceptable. Why is that not a form of free speech? They are free to advertise where they want. They're not beholden to, they're not obligated to advertise.
They're not obligated.
On X.com.
Right.
So how is that not free speech?
That's whereas the other platforms will censor on behalf of advertisers, the X platform will not.
Okay. So, but you don't think it's okay for them not to advertise with or have their content or their advertisement next to something that is anti-Semitic or...
That is a different question. You can absolutely choose where next to which content do you want your advertising to appear. Absolutely, of course. And we have, I think, very good ad placement controls in this regard.
Yeah. So you said if they kill the company, it's them. But doesn't the buck stop with you? I mean,
John, I have to say, choose your question carefully. There's 5 minutes left.
Okay, but so
is this the question you want to ask?
The same question is you said that they are killing the company, but you're the head of the company. The buck doesn't stop with you?
I acquired X in order to preserve freedom of speech in America, the First Amendment, and I'm going to stick to that.
These days, it feels like you can't say anything online without risking censorship. All I want is to create videos you can enjoy, but I have to be super cautious about what stays in and what gets cut out.
Everyone was a slave.
No, everyone was a slave.
Okay, but
no, all descended from slaves.
Yeah,
well, all of us.
Yeah,
it's just a question of when. Was it more recent or less recent? That's it.
That doesn't mean a lot to a whole lot of people who aren't able to take advantage of the opportunities that you were able to take advantage of, simply because the color of your skin.
What advantages did my color of my skin give me?
Well, there's an ease that you have in society that many people of color don't.
If we keep talking about it nonstop, it will never go away.
You get taxed on what you own, you get taxed on what you buy, and you get taxed on what you own. And it's like, okay, this is
taxes, 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 and and then what does it get spent on? A bunch of the stuff it gets spent on you don't even agree with. So that's why we need to reduce the size of government.